Hello everyone and welcome to Geopolitical Trends, where truth matters. Many are asking the fundamental question, can the United States fight multi-front wars? In this video, I will make the case for you as to why the US could not fight more than one major war at a time. Yet, there are those who believe that the US could still fight and win two major wars simultaneously. A wishful thinking, if I may add. I am going to divide this analysis into 5 sections. Each one of them provides you with a better read on the global geopolitical landscape vis-a-vis US inability to fight these multi-front wars. Number 1, the US and the multi-front war dilemma. The United States finds itself at a pivotal juncture in global geopolitics, facing simultaneous challenges across East Asia, Europe, and West Asia, or Middle East that is. The notion of fighting multi-front wars, already daunting in theory, has become an increasingly pressing reality. Compounding this challenge is the growing cooperation between 4 major players. Washington calls them adversaries: China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. These nations, often perceived as different actors, are now forming strategic alignments, significantly increasing the complexity of global challenging to the US interests. This analysis delves into the mounting challenges posed by these intertwined dynamics, exploring why the United States must rethink its approach to global strategy to avoid being stretched too thin more than it already is, while safeguarding, if possible, its interests on multiple fronts. Number 2, the threat landscape, a fractured global order. For decades, the United States has operated under the assumption that it could project its military and economic might globally, often tackling multiple challenges simultaneously. However, the shifting dynamics of international relations, marked by the decline of a unipolar world, are now testing the limits of this strategy. Nowhere is this more evident than in the growing partnership among China, Russia, Iran, and yes, North Korea. As a result, it is not a fracturing, but a rather reorganized global order. Each of these nations poses distinct challenges to the US interests, but their increasing alignment magnifies these challenges, reflecting the reality of the new multipolar system. Let's go with China. China, the United States' most significant strategic competitor. China is expanding its influence in East Asia and beyond. While West think tanks categorize, for example, A, China's approach to South China Sea as an aggressive posture, B, reunification of its province Taiwan with mainland, and C, Belt and Road Initiative, which, according to Western analysts, signal China's intent to reshape the global order. Yet the truth is that the BRI provides countries with alternatives. Simple as that. No doubt, Beijing increasing economic and military ties with Moscow further complicate matters for Washington, creating a robust bloc that does not only challenge US dominance, but can break it. B, Russia. Since the launching of its military operations in Ukraine, Russia has openly defied US and Western sanctions and continued its march forward towards reshaping a new global order. Moscow's coordination with Beijing on security and trade issues reflect a shared vision of reducing US influence. Meanwhile, its partnership with Iran and North Korea provides it with leverage in West and East Asia, respectively. Third one is Iran. Tehran regional ambitions have always been on the march forward, bolstered by closer ties with Russia and China, Iran's ability to acquire nuclear capabilities, and its role in supporting entities across West Asia, such as Hezbollah and the Houthis, forced the United States, allies like Israel and Saudi Arabia, to go back to the drawing board and reconsider their geopolitical calculations. Cooperation with China on a military and economic initiative further strengthened Tehran's position. North Korea, Pyongyang's persistent nuclear developments and missile testing are long-standing issues for the United States. It is because the latter knows that North Korea does not bluff. However, North Korea's increased cooperation with China and Russia adds a new layer of complexity that the United States will not be able to manage. North Korea's potential to act as a key player aligns with Beijing and Moscow's interest in ensuring two things: security and stability in East Asia. Number 3, challenges of a multi-front conflicts. Fighting multi-front conflicts across regions is not merely a logistical nightmare. It is also threatens to exhaust U.S. resources, strain alliances, and expose vulnerabilities. The strategic challenges of such engagements are numerous. Take, for example, resource allocations. Simultaneously responding to threats in the Pacific, Europe, and West Asia or Middle East will stretch the U.S. military forces thin. Even with its substantial defense budget, the U.S. risks overextending itself in personnel, equipment, and supply chain. Managing multiple conflicts would also place enormous strain on the defense industrial base, particularly in the production of advanced weapon systems. What about the alliance dependence? Well, U.S. alliances are critical force multiplier, but they are not without limitations. Take, for example, NATO's so-called unity, which is very fragmented, proved ineffective in the Ukraine theater. Now, think about how it would be tested by prolonged conflicts, especially as European nations like Great Britain, France, UK are facing economic strain. In the Pacific, regional allies like Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the Philippines to a degree are incapable of acting alone. West Asia presents its own challenges as shifting alliances and internal divisions make reliable partnership harder to secure. Then comes the economic strain. Sustained multi-front conflicts would have severe economic consequences. Military spending would skyrocket, potentially diverting resources from domestic priorities. Simultaneously, disruptions in global trade routes, whether in the South China Sea, the Persian Gulf, or Eastern Europe, could exacerbate inflation and economic instability. What about geopolitical coordination among adversaries? Well, the most concerning aspect of a multi-front conflict is the potential for an emerging alliance to coordinate its actions, effectively overwhelming U.S. strategic planners. For example, a simultaneous Chinese move on Taiwan, a Russian escalation in Europe, and Iranian provocations in West Asia would force the United States to make difficult decisions about prioritization. Number 4, the cooperation among partners. The growing alignment between China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea is not a formal alliance, but rather a strategic convergence based on shared goals, which is to reshape the global order. Their cooperation manifests in several key areas. For example, economic collaboration. China and Russia's deepening trade ties, including energy deals, help both nations weather Western sanctions. Similarly, Iran's partnership with China and Russia provides it with financial lifelines and advanced military technology. What about the military coordination? Well, think about the joint exercises and arms transfers demonstrates a willingness to collaborate militarily. Russia and China have conducted joint naval drills, while Iran has supplied drones to Russia for use in Ukraine. North Korea's arms trade with Russia further highlights the interconnectedness of these partners. In my opinion, this collaboration presents a significant challenge for the United States policymakers, as countering one nation's action often risks strengthening the others. Number 5, rethinking U.S. strategy, if there is one to begin with. To address these challenges, the United States must adopt a more focused and sustainable approach to its foreign policy. As argued in my Russia book, the U.S. never had a foreign policy strategy, a strategic vision. Rather, it reacts to events as they unfold. While military readiness is essential, diplomacy remains a powerful tool. Engaging partners or adversaries, as Washington calls them, through back channels and multilateral forums can help de-escalate tensions and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Here in my conclusion for you, because I like to keep it short and concise. The United States faces a defining moment in its global leadership, which is coming to an end, by the way. The prospects of a multi-front conflict, exacerbated by the growing cooperation among China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, underscores the need for a strategic recalibration. While the challenges are immense, there's no doubt, they are not insurmountable. By prioritizing resources, reinforcing alliances, and leveraging diplomacy, the United States can navigate this complex landscape while maintaining its role in the global system, not as a hegemon, but rather a key player. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. As always, remember, geopolitics impact your daily life in more ways than one. Till next time, thank you.